Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And in a prime example of why Shona Robison should be allowed nowhere near finances because of her very, very low, dangerously low intelligence, it's now been revealed that of all the money raised when they sold off Scotland's seabeds dirt cheap, 80% of it has been spent already, burnt through, wasted, not on investment, not on anything useful, simply plugging black holes and paying off the debts that already run up. It's selling the family silver to any Johnny foreigner who wants it on the cheap and benefiting no one. It's generating electricity, which is then sold back to the Scots at a highly inflated price, rather than creating your own company to do it and making the massive investment that would have benefited people everywhere. This is why they are incompetent, and I would suggest even criminal in their handling of money. If this was a limited company and they were the directors, the shareholders would have them in court. And it is no different. That is how bad they are. Billions spunked away and nothing, literally nothing, to show for it. Let's take a look and see why these incompetent buffoons must be booted from office, if not actually prosecuted. Here goes. Cash-strapped Shona Robison burns through 80% of the cash raised through selling off Scotland's seabeds on the cheap. The Scottish Government has been blasted for utilising ScotWind cash to fill huge financial black holes, with the Scottish Lib Dems claiming it is only being spent to paper over their financial mismanagement instead of leaving money for anyone else after the next election. That's the whole point. Leave everyone poor. Whoever follows is going to be in an awful position and can't do anything about it. I suggest whoever follows starts prosecuting these people for the financial mismanagement that they've done deliberately. And look at these people walking down that corridor. Look at the face on that woman. It's someone with smug arrogance. Look at me, I'm important, I'm wandering down a corridor and I've got a folder because I need to look important. And yet you know behind that facade is very little brain. There's nothing going on. An IQ of 86 on a good day, barely able to tie her own shoelaces. And it's quite clear she's incapable of running an economy. She should never been put in a position of authority. Too damn stupid. Give her a broom. The only thing that corridor needs is her brushing it. And even then you'd need instructions to say which end goes down. I heard an expression that I think sums her up perfectly. She couldn't pour piss from a boot if the instructions were written on the sole. The Scottish Government has been accused of burning through 80% of the cash it raised by selling off Scotland's seabeds on the cheap. The SNP executive has previously been lambasted for auctioning off valuable spots for offshore wind farms for a set price. And indeed, they had a cap, didn't they? Oh, you're not allowed to spend more than this for some strange reason. Surely the point would be to get as much money as possible, not to tell people how little they can get away with it. Nationalist ministers raised $756 million from its ScotWind leasing round, but some experts believe this could have reached billions if the prices had not been capped at £100,000 per square kilometre. Nicola Sturgeon welcomed the sale as truly historic as part of the country's transition from North Sea oil to North Sea oil and gas to renewable energy, which of course it isn't. You show me a world with no oil and I'll show you an entirely awful place. But to limit the cost to $100,000 per square kilometre was absolute lunacy. You go and you say, here's the minimum price is £100,000 per square kilometre. That's how you start, not maximum, and you get as much as you can, and then you lock it up. You make sure it can't be spent on shit like this. It's got to be invested. You create a national wealth fund. That's what Norway did. That's why Norway is very, very rich. Been doing it for years. Norway's national wealth fund is more or less paying its entire keep. It's all its bills paid out of that. Anyway, evidence from international sales of seabeds, including in New York, showed that the money earned could have been more than trebled, with the New York bite netting $4.37 billion for a quarter of the size that Scotland released. So 20 billion, possibly? They got 750 million. If that's not criminal, I don't know what is. Ms Robison confirmed that she will have spent 606 million of the initial 756 million in 24-25, and at the current rate of spending, the last 150 million will be gone in 25-26. The cash was meant to be utilised in boosting the country's renewable capacity, but it's used as a plug to plug financial black holes, and then it's gone. They're like children, aren't they? They're absolutely like children. Actually, no, I'll tell you what they're like. They're like addicts. They can't spend it fast enough. Every time they get anything, they've got to go and get their latest fix of spending on shite. There's no more money expected to come from ScotWind until year 10 of the project, which will be 21-32. 21. 21-31 to 21-32. That's not 1,000 years in the future. The Scottish Lib Dems gleaned this information through parliamentary questions and hit out at the SNP for short-term spending. Leader Alex Cole-Hamilton said the Scottish Government sold Scotland's prized seabed on the cheap, and now it looks like all the money will soon be gone. For years, nationalist politicians have sulked that we should be more like Norway and their vast oil fund, but the first chance they get to kickstart something similar, they burn through the money in record time. This is what happens. All you SNP voters are doing this. You keep going, yeah, we know they're stupid, we know they're incompetent, but if we keep voting for them, they might learn. They don't. They are that stupid and incompetent. And the fact that you keep voting them means you are stupid too. You can't change anything if you keep doing the same things. Stop voting for these morons who are destroying the country with every single policy they have. Imagine saying, oh, you need to sell your car on, Auto Trader. You could get a lot of money for it. Except you're going to say, no, I know I could get a lot of money for it, but I'm not going to take a bid of more than £100. You'd be a complete loon, wouldn't you? So why would you vote for people who do that for seabeds that could have raised 20 billion, not 750 million? Is it because they're incompetent or you're stupid for voting for them? It's a decision you're going to have to make for yourself. But perhaps not voting for them in future might just help. Anyway, he's saying that this is deliberate. The SNP's political prospects are declining, so they only care about the short term. They would rather use all the cash to paper over their financial mismanagement instead of leaving money for anyone else after the next election. 17 offshore wind projects were awarded 10-year leases in January 2022 by the Crown Estate Scotland, as multinational corporations bought sections of Scotland's seabeds in the first offshore wind leasing round in more than a decade. And it's an absolute cock-up start to finish. But it's not surprising, is it? It's not surprising that it's all gone a bit Pete Tong when you've got Humza Yousaf, who doesn't give one flying squirrel about Scotland, and 86, who doesn't even know where Scotland is, who couldn't point to it on a map, doesn't even know what a map is. She's that thick. Unbelievable people. And look at her. That smug face. Look at me. I'm going into a meeting. I'm clever. Look how clever I am walking into a meeting. And I'm able to walk and hold a folder at the same time. I'm a genius. What a fuckwit. Right. Coming up. She reminds me, I suppose you could I tell you what it is. I tell you what you've got here. In Shona Robinson, you have got a prime example of a thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Now, Dunning-Kruger is when you know very little, but you think you know a lot. And so, here's it. I've read a little bit about something, so I think I know a lot. Then I've read a bit more and you realise you know nothing. Until you read an awful lot and then you start realising you know a lot again. Where she is, she's very much over here on the Dunning-Kruger effect. I think I know. I'm confident in everything I do. I think I'm a genius. I think I know everything. But in actual fact, sweet FA. And that's why everything goes wrong. Prime example. If you're not sure what a Dunning-Kruger is, go and Google it. It's absolutely Shona Robinson to a T. That and moron. That describes her perfectly as well. But literally nothing, no process is going on in that woman's head. Don't know how she operates. She cannot possibly operate on a human level. I know crows that have got a better problem-solving ability than Shona Robinson. It's no wonder Stuart Hosey left her, is it? Imagine sitting there looking at that dumb face every morning. It's enough to put you off your haggis, isn't it? Anyway, stop. We'll stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment. Please share your video. Please share the video. Yes. I lost track of what I was saying. It's her. It's contagious. I'm looking at a picture of her and I'm becoming her. Stupid. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye. Don't look at pictures of her.